with a brand new session of PB Quarren Live presents Back to Business. Yes, this week we are celebrating the whole process of getting back to business and bringing you some experts who will give you detailed and inside information on how to get your business back on track. Joining us today is Ankit Arora, the CEO and founder of Streamline Services. Streamline Services has been instrumental in bringing a lot of amazing global brands to India, like Olaplex, Bomb Cosmetics, Balmain, and the newest addition to their family, MeSafe. So, Ankit is going to join us in a conversation on how to win our consumers, our customers back, and how to regain their confidence rather. It is going to be interesting and educational session, so please stay tuned with us. He will be joining us shortly. I will quickly add him to the conversation, and we can then go ahead and learn much more on what is happening in the industry, what is happening outside in the world, how are businesses across the globe going back to business, and what is the plan of action for the Indian salon fraternity. All right. So Ankit will be joining us any second now. Hi Ankit.
Hi, Kanishka. How are you?
I am very well. How are you?
Excellent.
Are you able to hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can.
Great. So Ankit, welcome to PB Quarren Live presents Back to Business. It's so good to have you here. And like I was telling my viewers about you and the kind of brands that you have brought to India and for the Indian salon industry. So let's start with our topic of the day. Like I was just telling the viewers, you have been watching the global trends, the global business trends rather, on how salons across the world are trying to get back to business. So can you give us your insights? Can you tell us a little more about it?
So, we
Also, Ankit, I'm sorry, before you begin, your camera has turned, so
okay. All
you
right.
have to place it. Yeah, right.
No worries.
Cool.
Yeah. So basically, we've been in touch with all our counterparts, in Germany, Sweden. In fact, my team in Dubai is already operational. The salons have opened there.
Right.
Even, speaking to people in various parts of Europe, France as well. All my colleagues there have kind of shared with me the latest updates. So the salons have started opening. And I kind of checked with them on what the trends were, what the best practices were. The best practices, so everyone's following all the hygiene protocols, wearing face shields, wearing disposable gloves, face masks, all of those things, as well as, sanitization, protocols that are being followed. The good thing is, what I've been seeing in even the Indian salon forums that we're a part of, and speaking with a lot of the Indian salon fraternity, I think we are definitely a step ahead, because the kind of work that I'm seeing the Indian salons doing are at par with, what the European salons are doing and some of the other countries are doing. So that's a very great positive. We are definitely on track with regards to building that client confidence back. With regard to trends, salons have been very busy in the first week. Most of it in Europe was, revolving around haircuts and, color touch-ups. Of course, in India, there would be a lot more. There would be haircuts, there would be color touch-ups, there would be waxing, even pedicures for that matter. So, so that's pretty much what the trend was, from the discussions that I had. Same with Dubai as well.
Okay. So, are the salons abroad following a set protocol? And where does this protocol come from? The government, or they have devised something of their own?
From what I spoke, a lot of them have done it on their own. Also,
Okay.
there are a lot of guiding councils there in many parts of the world. So they're doing a good job there. And following a complete checklist that needs to be followed and adhered to. And I think when I look at, can I map that to what we're doing in India, we're pretty much in the same direction as well, like I mentioned. So I'm proud that we're actually on the right track when it comes to all those protocols.
Wonderful. So that's really encouraging, knowing that we are on the right track and we might even be doing better than what the rest of the world is doing. Um, so now the main question for the salon industry is how to win the customer's confidence, because we are in such a close touch industry that the customer is definitely going to think twice before stepping into a salon. So right now, when the salons are not open yet, what steps can they take? What measures can they take to ensure that the customer still has confidence in them?
Right. So I think, all the Indian salons have done a fairly good job on creating their checklists. So they've kind of got their act together on the sanitization processes, the products, the disposables, everything that they're going to be using, when the clients walk in. I think a good thing to do right now would be to definitely to build the client confidence. I would recommend all salons to do like a poll. So they could do a poll on social media, or they could get all their stylists and therapists to, let's say, call up 10 of their clients and understand the protocols, and or rather understand the consumer expectation and what the customers expect with regards to hygiene. So it'll be a good thing to call the clients and get their feedback. It'll be a good thing to tell them what we are planning as salons, so kind of give them
Right.
a pre-visit kind of a scenario. And when they come into the salon, then brief them on what the new protocols are. Earlier, when clients walked into salons, it was always about hair consultation or skin consultation. I think it's going to be slightly different now, where we'll talk about what's the new hygiene protocols that we're following as salons,
Yeah.
and what protocols the consumer needs to follow before they come in. So I think doing a pre-poll or a pre-check on their expectations, briefing them when they walk into the salon, and then post the visit, maybe calling them again, a few days later to check on if there are any improvement areas that they would suggest before they come in for their next appointment.
Okay. Okay. So you are all out about getting the customer's feedback to the maximum and then improving your processes accordingly.
Correct. That's correct.
Right. So, what can be done during the customer's time within the salon? What can be done to better his or her experience there?
So as when the customer walks in, you, like I said, you will brief the customer on what you're going to do for the day through the service, before the service starts, during the service, and after the service. So the customer is, clear end to end. And of course, make the customer feel like it's the normal work, it's a normal environment that they've been used to, but with a next level of hygiene being followed, and next level of care being followed throughout the service. Of course, keeping in mind the social distancing norms and all of that.
Do you think apart from hygiene and sanitation, there is something else that salons can do to make their customers comfortable?
Considering that a lot of our stylist friends, a lot of the hairdressers, are going to be meeting customers after almost a gap of 2 to 3 months. They've had that whole gap of so many months. So I think it'll be good to reconnect, and give them something new. A customer has waited for a haircut for that long. A customer has waited for a facial for that long. For a pedicure for that long. So give them an amazing service. So this is the time when our salon friends can also be looking at how to wow the customer in that first visit, not only from a hygiene
Yeah.
standpoint, but also from a service standpoint. The kind of hairstyle that you give the customer, or the kind of consultation. So it's also time to sharpen the axe, to learn the trends from across
here is a crucial factor, because unless your customer really loves you, he is not going to come back to you, and that is what, keeps the industry running. You need to have repeat clients. You need your customer to come back. So that's a very good analogy that you just gave. Yes, it is like an arranged marriage, and you need to make your customers fall in love with you all over again. Do
Correct.
you think there are any services or treatments that should be phased out, at least in the first phase of opening up?
I think there are a lot of experts in the industry who would probably be working on those aspects. There are a lot of guidelines. BWSSC has come up with some very, very good guidelines. I know a lot of expert speakers have taken sessions on service protocols and how those services should be conducted, and which services should come first, followed by the others. There should be a phasing. I think all of us deserve to get a warm up, situation to be in, where we're just warming up. When we open the salon, you need to have that window of getting warmed up before you
Yeah.
meet the first few clients, and then kind of take it to the next level step by step. That's more important even for the customer confidence. This is not really important for the business, but more important for the customer consumer confidence, so they get a chance to also warm up and get the confidence to come back for the next longer service. So maybe it would be the quicker services, and then we get into longer services. But then again, with the kind of pre-work and prep that I'm seeing a lot of salon chains do, a lot of them are posting videos and protocols, and it's amazing to see the kind of work that the industry is putting in. It's actually very, very impressive, what the Indian salon fraternity is doing. Really, really proud, of that. So good stuff happening.
Yes, definitely. They are being very proactive about this. They are actively reaching out to their customers, telling them what the protocols and guidelines are going to be, and also doing a lot of stuff on videos, even if it is home care. And that really helps. That really helps in maintaining the connect with the audience. Now, Ankit, considering that you are in touch with your global partners, and you are really observing and studying what is happening in other countries where the salons are opened up, what do you think is right now in their mind, in the salon owner's mind? What is their prime agenda out there? Are they just trying to get their customers back, or are they also looking at uh, you know going back to the profits that they used to make? Is money on their mind, or it's only customer satisfaction?
No, I don't think money is on the mind of either the brands or the salons as we speak. I think
Yeah.
the salon business is a love care business. It's about making you feel good, look good, and you really care for the client when they come in. So I think a lot of them are thinking of how do we basically keep the customer safe and keep our team safe. So every protocol that I've heard, seen, being discussed in forums within India is all
Yeah.
about how can we make sure that the customer is safe, how can we make sure that our teams are safe. So that's, I mean, it's amazing to see the spirit. Everyone, the whole country's come together, all the salons, all the brands have come together onto one forum, and there's a lot of progressive discussion happening around that. And we've got a lot of guidance from BWSSC and a lot of other people in the industry who are coming and giving their 2 cents on how we could really improvise and do things better going forward.
Right. What about things abroad, globally? What do you think is the perspective of salons there?
So we've seen a lot of YouTube news, and a lot of news that is floating around on links where things are very positive. Customers are coming in. They've had a first few busy days, followed by a little drop, and then again the week two again is and the week three is again picking up. I think that's also because they're spacing their appointments, giving a chance to both ends to kind of prepare and prep up for the better. So there's a lot of positivity around there. I think we are worrying, people are worrying about what's going to happen, but in the end, self grooming needs, beauty and wellness is not going anywhere. We're all social animals. We will come back to the new normal, we will come back to our old ways, but with a new approach. So be it a consumer, they would approach things very differently, and the salons would approach things very differently, and the business would come back to normal, and maybe with a good positive trend as well.
Right. So positivity is the key right now. We have to hold on to a positive outlook. Earlier, when we were discussing this topic, you did mention that globally salons who have opened are experiencing this rush in the first week, then a dip, and then the business stabilizing and going back. So, what advice would you give to Indian salons on how to phase out their growth across the next 2 or 3 weeks?
So I think what we would do is, the salons could do is, like I said, do a pre-poll, understand what the customers are expecting, also understand what are the kind of services they want, and then categorize, the appointments by the services and, by the traffic in the salon, and space it out. So for a customer who's waited for 2 months, if they're categorically told that, don't come in week one, you come in the next round, which is just 7 days away from the week one, I think the customer would understand and wait, so that, and that would also actually increase the confidence of the customer. That again, letting a customer know, oh, you just come, could probably backfire. So it's better to say, don't come on this day, come 3 days later, so that we are much more prepared for you, and also we kind of space it out so you're not in a traffic zone, basically. So that would again be a suggestion from my side.
So it would be easier for the salon to manage social distancing and also take care of disinfection in between services if everything is prior booked, and if they know that these are the customers who would come in for a certain service in the first week, and these are the
back the confidence, and then there's going to be word of mouth. There's going to be positive word of mouth. When a consumer goes from a service very happy, feeling very safe, she would then tell her friend, you know what, go down there, it's perfectly safe. Because a lot of people are going to be in oblivion of what the salons are doing. They're going to be in complete ignorance of, what the best practices being followed are, despite all the efforts from the salon. So I think this word of mouth will basically be the next business generator. So I rather, social media can get you to one point, but word of mouth can get you to 3x, customers coming back to you. So I would definitely suggest the salons to wait and let that happen. So space it out that way.
So in the new normal, your word of mouth will be not like, okay, that salon gives a good haircut or that salon gives a great hair color. It's going to be that salon is really hygienic, and this particular one is very organized, and this is the one where you should go for with your prior appointments. So it's going to, even the word of mouth is going to change a lot in the new normal.
Yeah, I think the way customers are going to prioritize, or rather, the criterions would definitely now be hygiene first, and of course, a good service. And I think all salons give good services, and with hygiene coming, I think that, hygiene earlier was just a state of mind, but now it's not a state of mind. It's become a prerequisite to be around people. So you need to follow certain hygiene practices yourself to justify being around others so that they are safe around you, and vice versa. So I think that's going to take definitely, and the way I see a lot of awareness increasing in India on that, you know, point, the hygiene viewpoint, basically. So definitely it's going to play a very, very crucial role.
Absolutely. So it is actually going to be on par with the services and the products that you offer. The hygiene factor is going to play a major role in your image building. Okay, coming back to you, Ankit, with Streamline Services, what kind of collaborations or what kind of support are you extending to salons who are your customers?
Right. So, we've been doing a lot of groundwork, since week one of the lockdown. We've kind of connected with our brands, with Olaplex, with Balmain, with Bomb Cosmetics, a lot of the brands. We've connected with them to understand, what should be the new changes in protocols, in the way services are done, in the way the touch points are handled. So there's a lot of new learnings coming from the global, partners with regards to any tweaks in protocols and things like that. They're also guiding us on hygiene protocols as well. Besides that, so on the hair side, it's going to be a lot of tweaks in protocols. And again, like we discussed, it's going to be quicker, shorter services followed by longer services probably, and that's not going to be too much of a transition. It's going to be the first few days and then the next few days, because there are customers who want those services. And then from a manicure pedicure standpoint, we're looking at waterless manicures and pedicures. Can we start with dry manicures and pedicures with which are completely monodose single use kits, and all of that. So definitely there's going to be a change there, and then, we've kind of seen, I think all the product partners are doing great stuff, across multiple brands, bringing in these protocols. So what we've also decided as a company at Streamline is that we would, we're launching these disposable service kits. So, while there are great brands out there, we thought of kind of, we conceptualize as a team certain disposable service kits. So if you're going for a waxing service, we've kind of designed a waxing kit. If you go for a haircut service or a hair color service, we've designed like a single use kit of disposables and of service tools that are going to be only for that particular client. If you're going for a facial, then there's a facial kit. So while there's monodose products in the market, now we're bringing in these monodose service kits of disposables so that the touch points are completely reduced. So it's not that as a salon they're going and picking up a disposable towel from one place and another, cutting cape from another. So we've kind of conceptualized that into one kit that is given to the salon for that particular consumer. So that's what we've done as a company to kind of complement and support the salon fraternity, in that context.
Right. What kind of investment on the salon's part will that take? Like,
It's going to
if
be
you
very
give us a
nominal.
ballpark.
It's going to be very nominal. It would range between 27 rupees to about 49 rupees on an average per customer, basically,
Okay.
depending on the kind of service that the customer is taking. So it's going to be very, very nominal.
All right.
Yes.
Ankit, there are a couple of questions that have come up from the viewers, so I'll quickly take them. Okay. So this comes from Stand Up Sean. In regards to social distancing and taking few appointments is all right, but wouldn't it affect business? Less appointments, low footfall will bring in low sales. How do you go about meeting break even?
Like I said, the worst has already happened. So now it's not about the profit in the startup phase. It's about making sure that the consumer confidence is back. Because what's going to work for us now is the consumer confidence with regards to the measures we're taking. So if we've lost 2 months of business, doesn't mean we're going to make it up over 2 weeks. It could take 6 months, it could take 9 months, but it will only happen if we build the consumer confidence back and have that positive word of mouth. It won't happen otherwise. So let's not make matters worse. Let's space it out, and you will see, everybody will see, benefit from that whole, the best practices being followed and the guidelines being followed.
Right. Monisha HBB wants to ask, how would Ankit suggest the method to categorize? So earlier when
The
you spoke
method,
about, yeah, that's what she wants to know.
so method to categorize what? If you could just explain
The
the question.
services, like which services, which customers to cater first, depending on the services that they want.
I wouldn't want to answer that. I think there are a lot of other experts who would, from the industry, who would take up that question. So maybe we could kind of bring that answer back through another, session that you could host. But broadly speaking, a haircut, I would say threading would be avoided in the beginning, till we, kind of really fix the technique of doing threading, right? But a haircut would be, safe. A pedicure with all the best practices followed would be safe. A hair color could be safe. Maybe a 3 hour hair straightening service could wait till both the consumer and the salon have understood. And a lot of the decisions can be taken with a post client service feedback. When I said there's a pre client feedback or a set of expectations taken, and then post, the client comes, you can always ask them as to what further improvements do they want, with the way we are conducting the salon environment, so that they can come back for the next appointment. So that would give us some answers as well.
Right. So to put it simply, the longer services can wait and the shorter express ones can be done right away. But it all depends on the kind of stand that the salon wants to take, how much
Yeah,
they are able to.
like I said, the longer services don't need to wait. I think, like I said, with what I've been discussing with a lot of the salon partners, I think they're very prepared. So that's why I
Yeah.
said the experts could answer that, or the salons could answer that in the next session, as
Yeah.
to, how they would categorize the services, basically.
Absolutely. Someone wants to know where they can buy these kits from that you just spoke about.
So they could get in touch with the Streamline team on Me Safe India. So they could kind of leave a message on Me Safe India on the Instagram, and the respective regional teams will get in touch with them. So I think if they connect with the Streamline team in various regions, they will give them the whole Me Safe catalog and the Me Safe Salon Hygiene Essentials brochure for that. So.
Right. Robin G Pro wants to know how the salons can manage this additional cost.
Like I said, I think the cost is going to range between 27 to 49 rupees on an average. We can also, look at absorbing this as a part of the charge to consumer as a complete package, because, in the end, whatever we are doing as an industry is for both. It cannot be a one-way, effort only. I think, we are all in it together. The brands, the salons, as well as the consumer, and I think the consumer would be happy to pay. Because it's like, you when you go to a hospital, you have a certain set of protocols being followed, and you prefer going to hospitals, and even if it's a little more expensive, and you pay for that. So, or, maternity centers for that matter. So, and we're not even talking about like hundreds of rupees here. We're talking about like a double digit cost, per client as an additional, broadly speaking, to kind of, give them that sense of, uniqueness or hygiene meant for them only.
Also security. They know that you're doing the right thing, and then that's why they have more faith in you.
Yes. So I don't think the pressure should be on either one. It should be balanced out across, up to the consumer level,
Right.
basically.
There are a couple of people out there who want to know about the guidelines, where to get hold of them. So I would request them to visit Professional Beauty website. That's professionalbeauty.in. We have uploaded all the guidelines, right from what BWSSC has issued to what individual salons are doing. So that is one place where you can ideate and get a lot of information and details about safety and sanitation protocols. Ankit, before we wind up this session, is there anything else that you would like to add? Any advice that you would like to give to salon owners?
I think, I would again repeat and reiterate that, with whatever I've seen, I think everyone's putting in humongous effort, and we should keep going. It's the clients will come back once they see, this. I think we need to really, yeah. The one suggestion is we're doing a lot of work. I think that needs to be called out. The clients need to visually see it, feel it, and be told about it, because that's important. The client has to be told, and word of mouth is going to play a very crucial role here. And yes, so and we're looking forward. I mean, we feel lonely because being in this, we're in a salon professional business as well as a company, and we are feeling lonely because it's like, and someone like me who's been traveling 20 days a month, I haven't seen anything outside of Gurgaon, for the last 2 months. So I'm really looking forward to, meeting my hairdresser friends again, meeting the stylists, meeting the salon owners, everybody from the fraternity. And, we're all waiting for the salons to open up. So, we can get the consumers back in, and I'm sure the consumers are feeling the same. So it's positive. Everything's in the right direction.
Absolutely. So on that positive note, we are ending this session. Thank you so much for being a part of this, Ankit, and we look
Thank
forward
you.
to having more sessions with you.
Thank you, Kanishka. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Have a
you. Bye
nice day.
bye. Yeah, take care.